Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mindset Monday. Happy Monday, and in many hemispheres or most of the world, we call this All Fools Day. They call it All Fools Day. And of course, someone fooled me today. They sent me a wedding invitation and I was so excited for them. But when I opened the invitation, it was something totally different. It was so hilarious. So I was fooled. But guess what? I'm not going to fool any of you today. Joining me on this Mindset Monday, and it is our new episode for this entire month. We are going to be looking at this topic in due season. And I am enjoying the nice warm weather, Florida. I should ask you to guess where I am, but I just said it anyway. I'm enjoying Florida. It's a lovely, nice, warm, nice little breeze flowing behind me. So I'm enjoying Florida right now. So today we'll be looking at the topic in due season. As we all know that we are in spring, the season of spring, and we have four seasons of the year part. And if you can name them with me, it's spring, summer, autumn, or fall, and then winter. We just left winter. And as you know, the different seasons come different things, different feeling, different moods. And seasons of life are also, as they would say, metaphorical periods that represent different stages or phases we go through. Now, we look at spring. Spring represents new opportunities. It's a time planting seeds, nurturing ideas. Summer is abundance, fruition or fusion, and vitality. It's a season of growth, productivity, and enjoying the fruits or reflection and letting go. And a lot more other things surfaces. But as we go through these seasons, I want to look at how we adapt to changes in seasons. Their mood swings, their mood changes based the year. And as spring is so beautiful, the different colors of the different flowers, the different vegetation that's been planted. You can see even the colors of the trees, even though they are not fruit bearing trees. as spring comes to life. These seasons of the year we go through lives, and we can use the seasons of the year to depict the seasons of life cycle, our own cycle of transformation, change, rest, as they look at what season are. As we go through life, sometimes we identify with other people and we tend to mimic them. But may I tell you that there are many times that we try to mimic someone who is in a different season of life. And when we try to adapt their season, we end up in trouble. So, what I want to share with you, embrace your season. A matter of fact, do you know what season of life you're in? Whether you are a teenager at middle age or you're mature in the 80s, 90s, we all go through varying seasons of life, even when we are in different life. So, what season are you in? It is so important that we know what season of life we're in. Then we'll be able to adapt to the changes, adapt to what is going on in our lives. When we understand the season that we are in, we'll know, we will embrace what's coming. I'm feeling this way right now. Let me find I manage? How can I balance what I'm feeling? Why am I feeling this way first? And then what resources are out there that can help to alleviate the feelings I'm going through or that can help me go through the season of life. So if we embrace the season, if we first find out what season we're in, then we're able to get information as to how we can manage the season we're in. Then we'll be better able to journey into this life and be able to be a worthwhile citizen. And can I tell you, the seasons are not unique to one person. The phases that we go through or the specific way we handle it, it's unique. But seasons of life, as the seasons of the year, are not uncommon to one person. So when you are in your season and you are going through, you will learn lessons that someone else may come your way and you're able to share with them. You know, this helped me while I was going through this. Case in point, for a woman going through puberty, there are many different phases, the many different changes in the body that we go through. And some feel a lot of pain when when a woman, for a woman, their menstrual cycle, they feel a lot of pain. Others go through just like that. And the young person will say, well, I stopped drinking milk, I stopped eating dairy products, and it has helped to alleviate some of the pain. That may work for some. Then, when we go through other phases of life, uh, say menopause or premenopause, you have persons who went through a series of fainting spells. One of my friends, she went through fainting spells. She did not know what was happening to her until she went to the doctor. Others go through the highs and the lows, the heat as if they just throw a bucket of hot water on you. And then it makes you miserable. But once you understand what is happening, for me, I felt like a whole pot of hot water was on my forehead when I just started feeling that feeling. And then it makes me frustrated. But once I realized what was happening, as soon as I feel the bouts of sweat start coming on my forehead, I start taking deep breaths. And in those deep breaths, I realized that that heat is short lived. So, the seasons of life, I was able to help some of my coworkers, I was able to help some of my friends. I share with them what helped me. They did not have the same symptoms, but of course, when their symptoms arrive, they share with me that the deep breathing actually helps to alleviate the length of time those um, those feelings stays with them. So, the seasons of life, embracing your season, then you will be able to understand and you will be able to help others as they go through their own season. The cool breeze blowing on me is just twisting everything, but I'm just enjoying the breeze. It's actually part of the whole season, right? The whole season of life. So, as we embrace our season, and as we share with others how to embrace the season and how to understand the physiological dynamics, we will be able to journey into life. We'll be able to move from phase to phase. We'll be able to move from stage to stage and stand and be a valuable human, giving our contribution that others can be helped. So embrace your season. It might be challenging, but find out what lesson can I learn from what I'm going through, whether it's premenstrual pain, whether it's later down in life, premenopause, whether it's, and for men, it's andropause. So, whatever season of life, there is something to be learned because others have gone through, and so you are going through. So, you will be able to stop and share. Stop and share. So, embracing the season is being grateful for where you are. You know, gratitude is not a full stop, but gratitude is actually right throughout life. Gratitude begins your day and gratitude ends the day. So, right throughout the month, last week we spoke about the gratitude march. And as we embrace our season, as we go through this month of this series in due season, you will see how gratitude plays a great role in understanding our season, in embracing our season, and in sharing the nuggets that we learn while we go through our season. So it feels good knowing that seasons come and seasons go. There's seasons of high in our life, there's seasons of low. We're never at a full stop. We're never at a, must I say, we never end up in a brick wall because seasons change. The scripture says, to everything there's a season and a time for every purpose under the sun, a time to be born and a time to die. Now we look at that season, and trust me, it freaks everyone out where the season of death is concerned. But we need to understand, and I need to embrace that part of life, knowing that that is also part of the equation. There has to be death just as life. So, embracing our seasons, embracing the seasons of life, whether it's a challenge in terms of health challenge, whether it's losing a loved one, whether it's a season of lack in terms of finances, whether it's the loss of a job, remember these seasons change. So embrace the season you're in. Enjoy the season you're in. Just remembering that seasons change. Seasons change. So if you remember, a job is on its way. If you are homeless, remember, seasons change. You will have a roof over your head. And I know for some people, there's a gentleman that I met years ago, and he told me that he lived in his car for 4 years, and the car started deteriorating. He lost his home, and he goes to work from his car. However, after 2 3 years, he was able, his situation changed. He was able to acquire a little money, and he started life all over again. What that is telling me, that our present circumstance is not our destination. So seasons change. You feel the breeze behind. You see the breeze behind me. It's blowing the leaves of the tree. So as the breeze is blowing, we can't see the wind, but we can see the effects of the wind. We may not be able to put our finger on what caused these changes, but we can identify how can we move forward from one phase to the other. Now, I want to let us know that sometimes a season will change, but we tend to hold on to that season. And I'm going to use the analogy of, we might have people in our life who came for a specific time and purpose, and that season has ended. But for some reason, we tend to hold on to that season, and we are hurt in the process because we want it to be extended when it's actually short lived. When the purpose of that person in our life, it's just for a minimal time. So, can I tell you? Just embrace the season you're in. Understand why this season is present in your life, and find out, what can I learn from the season? What can I learn from the persons who are in this season? And how can I share what I have learned in this season? So when we embrace our season, we are able to be more grateful. We're able to appreciate the persons who are in our life, whether they come to they come to be of, as in mind that for everything that appears or we come across or we encounter, there is a lesson to be learned. I have learned that in my time. I remember as a little girl, I had sores on my mouth, sores on my fingers. They had to be bandaged separately, and every single morning those dressing had to be changed. Now, that's a season in my life that I hated because I was bullied every day. This little fussy kid picked me. They call, sore mouth, sore fingers, and I was the talk of the primary school. And of course, I remember my younger sister, she normally fights for me. I've never fought, I think once, but that wasn't even a fight. I was just beating up on this boy who said he liked me. So my sister normally fights for me because the bullies, they call me red skin, facet skin, sore mouth, sore finger. And all I did was to just cry tears. But my sister was the one who fought for me. Now, when I went to live with my uncle, sorry for the noise in the background. When I went to live with my uncle, I had no one to fight for me. So that was when everything started all over again. I was the I was the one who was bullied because everyone else had perfect skin, had everything perfect except this one little Miriam, and she was just the talk of the class. No one wanted to sit beside her. And then over time, there's this one girl who became my close friend. And she was the one who sometimes carried my bag. Her name was Janet. She normally carried my bag or assisted me in many different ways. So I had one friend during that season of my life where I had sores all over my mouth and sores all over my fingers, and that was that season. But what I learned from it is that be patient with people when they are going through. Show some empathy because you will need it too. So, although that season was crazy, I learned that I should be patient and someone will be patient with me. So, seasons are changing, seasons are for our learning, and every season have something that we can adapt, that we can share, that we can understand, and it can transition us in the next phase of our life. So embrace your season, bro. Embrace your season, girls. Embrace your season, madam. Embrace your season. Understand why, what, how. And this is when you'll be able to go through each day. You'll be able to move on each day. You'll be able to share the good things. You'll be able to share the not so good thing. And then, might I tell you, someone else would benefit from what you have gone through. And could it be that they'll be able to go through their season with a little bit more confidence? So, embracing the season after you understand what the season entails, you'll be able to give of yourself. You'll be able to stand in your greatness. You'll be able to understand much more about you. And guess what? You are able to move on and become the better, best version of yourself. Embracing your season. Let me check if I have comment social. Sure, not doing so well where I am. I guess maybe it's the breeze. Thank you for saying telling me, Tensi. The wind actually is causing this to cut out several times, but let me see what we have on social media. Let me see. Give me a minute. My signal is faded, but just give me 1 minute. I think it's coming up. It is coming up. Okay. Joel Haven said, Greetings. God bless. April birthday month. Yes, it's his birthday month. Celebrate birthday with you, Joel Haven. That's Joseph Lennon. Anne Marie said, I was a big fighter. Thank God I could defend myself. I thank God that I have a little sister who became the big sister fight. I was no longer a big sister when it's fighting time. I just step back and she just step in. Sometimes I hide away because I did not want her to see the tears because I know all she would do is just drop the bag and then find out who hurts her bigger sister and just fight them. Um, Nancy says, hello, Queen Miriam. Tensi says, yes, true. No condition is permanent. Very true. Anne Marie says, it's definitely it was a reason for that season in your life. Ian McFarlane says, this is so wonderful. So yes, embracing the seasons, whether it's spring for those young weather, there could be a spring in your life in as much as you are an adult or you are spring can be maybe you just got married or maybe there's a new the area you've moved to a new area. It could be spring in different in ways that you go through. So are you in a guest of mine was trying to log in but for some reason the so let me jump on to see if I this evening be sharing with us authentically what season. So I'm going to ask her a few questions. As she introduces herself, then I'll ask a few questions. And so we have Suzette. I'm trying to, awesome. Oh, Suzette. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just share with our audience who you are, where you're from, and then we could take.
I am Suzette Granville. I'm an educator, mother, entrepreneur. I'm a part of, I'm a band member. I'm a foundation member. So I'm all over the place. I live to impact lives and make give of myself to people. That's what I live for.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So happy to have a day in this season of spring. And as we share what season of life we're in, I alluded to the different seasons of the year spring, autumn, summer. And I just want to start with the first question. What's in?
Mm. I would say I'm in the season of saying yes to whatever is going to move my life in an upward
Okay,
way. So
start on that one, Suzette. What season are you in?
I am in the season of saying yes to whatever comes my way as long as it's making my life better.
So you would say you're in the season of spring.
Yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. And how how will you allow this season to benefit you in every aspect of what you're going through now?
I will ensure that I learn all the lessons that comes with every section of the season, because I'm in a season of spring. I may Right now I'm in the season of SBAs when it comes on to my academic life, my career. In relationship, I'm in the season of building. In parenting, I'm in the season of letting go and allowing God to work his magic. Because as a parent, I tend to hold on to things and try solving problems for myself and not allow God to do what he should and listen to him. As for my professional journey, where I'm looking at becoming a mentor and coach, I'm in the season of learning about self-awareness and just learning all the things I need, looking at the lessons that are there, documenting the journey so that this journey can help somebody later down in life.
Powerful, wonderful. And of course, I know I can learn something or two because I realize that age is not a matter of maturity, although age is maturity, but I can also learn from someone else who has expertise in a particular area. Whether the person is younger than I am or older than I am, I can learn. And I remember someone called me when I was in high school. One of my teacher called me stupid, and I I held on to that for years. And then as I mature in life, I realized if I'd taken that in a positive way, I would say to her, I understand why you say that because you know that area of learning and I don't know it. So, yes, I'm stupid to that area of learning. However, you may be stupid in this area of learning. So, I am understanding life in a different way. Now, when I was younger, as soon as someone say that, of course, it saps the energy that I have and I use it to even hurt myself because I decided I don't want to do anything in her class. And of course, she already has what she have. She's already an educator, and I am just learning. So had I used it in a positive way, I would have done much better in her class. So as an educator, it's so important that we elevate our student and use words that are not triggering, that will hinder their learning or that would cause them to self-sabotage, because I think I did that and it inhibited me from learning that subject matter. And I had to repeat that class because I did not want to have anything to do with that teacher. So as an educator, it is so important that, as you said, you understand what you're doing, you understand why you're doing it, and whatever you do can affect the life of every single child that is in your sphere of influence. Now, one other question. How how do you, I'm not sure if this has ever happened to you, if you have a child in your class who is not learning at the pace that you think they should be learning, is your what do you do in that sense?
I teach principles of accounts, and for the persons who know principles of accounts, they know that it's a technical subject in the sense that for this generation at present, they don't like to think. They shy away from thinking. They will find every way not to think. So sometimes in my accounts class, I have like four classes within the one class. They talk about differentiated learning. That's differentiated learning. So you will have one set of students who are faster. I would ensure that I prepare work for them so when they complete the task that I have for the class, I'd give them something else to do. You have another set that may be not understand the topic, or for example, they did not come the last class, so they would not be on par with where we're at. So I would give the so three sets. So you have one set who is fast, the middle set, and then the set who doesn't understand at all. So I'd work with the that set, because the last topic we did, and I did it in that way, was cash book, where I had a class at the front tutoring them how to do the cash book. You have the other students down there doing the actual activity, and then when one of them or two of them are finished, I would give them another activity. It stretches you as a teacher, but it allows you to know where your students are at and to move them from where they're at to another level.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. So, in other words, they're saying that no child is left behind. So, in your way of doing it, you have this whole thing. So, you do it in phases. So each one are not at the same level. So the dynamics of the class is different. So you
Yes.
create lessons in order to fit everyone in that realm. Well,
Yeah.
that's very good. So that's telling me that.
That
Go
that
ahead.
will not happen for each class though, because it depends on that's approach depend on the topic you're teaching.
Okay. Um,
Mhm.
you want to break it down a little more?
So for example, if you're just introducing a topic, or you it's a theoretical topic, then you would have to approach it in a different way, where you give them the information, or um provide outside help in a way where they can come to you at different times to get it done. So depending on the topic you're teaching, you have to use a different approach.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So one other question. As a parent, you are also in the season is a young adult, but what advice can you give a parent in in helping their child as they go through the process of uh, middle school, high school, college? What can you help? What can you share as a parent to another parent in helping that child?
One thing that I would say every child need is structure. So ensure that there is structure within their lives. So, and if you have a child, for example, I I'm a single parent. If you have a son or a daughter and you're a single parent, get a mentor, get somebody outside of you that can guide them, that can help them through some of the things that you'll not be able to. Get them involved in extracurricular activities, because some of the things that they will not learn at home, ensure that they are not just doing the things that they want to do. Give them structure. Structure is, and that builds discipline. That builds so many things, because when you know that you have this to do at this point, you get it done, and help them to develop good habits, because the habits that they have now will be what drives their lives forever. Although habits can change, but they help them to develop good habits, like tidying up their room at the times that they should, studying, because this generation here, they don't like to study, they don't like to put out anything that, as long as it's out of their comfort zone, they don't want to do it. They're comfortable, and help them to read. That's another thing. So mentors don't only come from physical persons. You can have mentors from books, because for me, Bob Proctor is one of my mentor, and I have never met him. And help them to set goals. That's another thing. Simple goals, and let them work with them in achieving those goals. Those are some of the things that I would advise a parent to do with their children.
Lots of technology. A season, the little spurts of season where we have noise in the back, another spurts of season where we lost connection. So I know it's a little challenging for viewers. They are not able to hear what's going on. But I know just as life and seasons are not predictable, or the Wi-Fi or whatever, it's not. Seasons change in every area. And as we give credence to Suzette, as she was talking about assisting, how can she help other parents? She was talking about structure, help your child. She was talking about mentoring. Have your child a mentor. If you're a single parent, get them involved in activity, get them a mentor so they'll be able to navigate life in a more structured, balanced way. So, viewers, oh, Suzette is back. Suzette, we're having challenge today with our
Audio.
Wi-Fi, with
Yes,
the
I
area
will.
that I'm at. So I know my viewers are saying that we are cutting out, we're going in and out. However, let me read few of the comments that came over. Tensi says, a teacher told me that I would amount to nothing, and I did not accept her negative proclamation. I proved her wrong. And right now, Tensi is a licensed clinician. If she had listened to that teacher, she would have amounted to nothing. So it's good when you have other people in your life, and her mother was one of her driving force to remind her that she is a person of value. Thank you for sharing this, Sister Tensi. Theodore King said, another great presentation in due season. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Theda. Tensi said, Suzette, do you have to utilize different teaching styles to incorporate the children's learning? She's asking that question.
Yes, I have to. So, for example, I teach the entire grade 7, and for one class, I do role play. So, for example, when I was teaching ergonomics, I had one class where I showed them a video. There was another class where I had them come up, and what I did was ask two students to just come up and sit, and they sit. One child automatically sat in with bad posture. The other one sits with good posture, and one thing that we have learned, because I'm a new teacher, I am teaching for less than 2 years. One thing that I've learned is you have to learn your two students learning styles, know them, because when you don't know them, your students will not get what they should get from the lesson as a result. So this generation right now love to watch videos because they're always on their phones. So you have to incorporate videos in the classroom. You have to ensure that your lesson is
Right.
activity driven because they like to do things. So when my lessons are activity driven, when I have a very well planned lesson, I have a beautiful class. And I teach all of grade 7, so I may have the lesson, and because we have different students in the different classes, you have a lesson, you teach it this way in this class, and you go over to the other class, and it's totally you get a total different lesson. So yes, the learning styles are important to know in order to utilize the different approach to get the lesson across.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Awesome, awesome. Let me see if there are any other comments. Just 1 minute. keep the comments coming. I thank you for staying with us. I know that it's challenging when you're listening and the information keeps, you know, the signal keeps dropping. But I thank you for staying on. Okay, I don't see any more comments right now, but I thank you, listeners, for bringing it on. Okay, those are the comments for now. Oh,
Mm.
how to handle it, the two. So, as Anne Marie
Thank you.
is saying, the parent actually say, "Oh, you're good for nothing," and then the child go to school and the teacher said the same thing. So, how does that child
Definitely, Anne-Marie.
it's
Miriam is gone. It seems that way. The breeze strong, but it take away Miriam. Wow. Well, it seems like Miriam has gone. Well, look, seems as if this is a season of challenges.
For another episode of My and click the notification bell so you'll be notified when we have. Thanks again. Embrace your season. Embrace your season.